The first book on religion my father ever gave to me to read was The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, and the first book on politics, The Communist Manifesto. So naturally growing up, I couldn't understand how anyone could possibly believe in a God, and believe that it was really just a crutch for those who couldn't come to terms with the fact that one day they will die. When I first went to secondary school, I met a young Christian called Joel, and despite our differences, we quickly bonded. He invited me to the youth group and to the services at his rural Baptist church, where I met actual Christians. I jumped at the opportunity to attend, not because I was keen to worship a God I believed to be the product of the pre-modern mind, but so that I could drag these poor hillbillies through the Enlightenment and convert them to the wonderful message of how their lives, like mine, ultimately cannot consist of any meaning or purpose. Despite my poor attitude, I was quickly won over by their warmth and hospitality toward me. But enjoying the company of Christians does not a Christian make. I soon discovered that there is substance and a sure foundation to the Christian faith, beyond the caricatures of my childhood. Eventually, I became convinced that it's true. Every objection has a rational answer. Ultimately, our knowledge can only refer to objective reality if it's built on the source of that reality, God. Realizing that Christianity is true, however, cannot remain an intellectual affair. If it turns out that God is true and I'm made in his image, then I have a duty towards him as my creator. But how could I come and fulfill my purpose in God who is set apart, if my life is filled with that which God hates? By his grace and his power in me, he turned my life upside down. I forsook a lot of what was wrong in my life and started living out that which is good. And I asked for forgiveness for my sins. I remember walking down the street to school the next morning. I'd look at the trees, and they looked as if they'd been recoloured. They were new to me, as now through them I could see the one who made them. And likewise, I can now see the one who made me. Like those trees, I am what I am because of my place in the plan and decree of God, come what may. My Christian faith has been invaluable to me ever since. It has helped me through some very tough times. But I would be remiss if I made the Christian faith out to be a means to an end, a genie who grants wishes. This is because Jesus is not a means to something wonderful. He is the something wonderful. I now worship at Countersthorpe Baptist Church with my wife Sarah and our daughter Joanna. And one day, when my life is over, I look forward to having my faith turned to sight in the presence of God forever. This is my story for God's glory. What's yours? If you have any questions about what you've just watched, then leave us a comment in the comments section below, or get in contact at admin@countersthorpebaptist.co.uk.